What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Migz here, and today I bring you an updated Springans Fallen of Albaz deck profile. As you can see, the new Albaz Strike structure deck, and it packs a lot of punch. So let's get the thing started. Let's hop in to the monsters. Alright, here we have the monsters. First, obviously, we have triple Fallen of Albaz. This is what the deck revolves around, you know what I'm saying? So you need to play 3 of him. Obviously everybody knows what he does. When he's normal summon, you discard a card and you fuse him and one monster on your opponent's side, and all the fusion monsters list him as material, so it's great. And one thing about this deck is it has so much synergy with Springans because they're from the same lore, and it's amazing and fun. Then we go to the new support, triple Springans kit. That's right, he has Springans in his name, so you can discard him to activate the field spell. Great Gold Sea of Gaganda, or if you have a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz, you can special summon it from your hand. Then when this card is normal or special summon, you can add one branded spell or trap card that's banished in your deck or in your graveyard, then place one card from my hand to the bottom of the deck. So it's a nice searcher or good recovery, and it has a Springans name. So when the Sprin the Iron Dash Dragon is in the graveyard, you could summon this off of that. It's awesome. The synergy is amazing. Then we continue with the Springans. We play triple Springans Captain Sargus. Him, when he's attached to a Springans Xyz monster, it gives him a 500 attack boost. All Springans have the same effect, whether they're in the hand or a graveyard. They can attach themselves to a Springans Xyz. Then when this card is on the field during my opponent's turn, I can detach one Xyz monster from an Xyz material, from an Xyz Springans monster, and pop one card on my opponent's field. Obviously, all once per turn. Then we play here double Springans manga. This is kind of a searcher in the deck. Again, all Springans have the same effect where you can attach them from the hand or the graveyard, but this one you banish itself and another Springans monster in the grave, and then you can add one Springans card in general from your deck to your hand, so it's more searching. Then we play double Springans Brothers. This one, when it's sent from the deck hand to the graveyard, I can target one Springans monster in my graveyard and special summon it. So usually you want to special summon Captain Sargus because he's a big defense. He's 2800 defense, and you want to have the pop effect. Then we play one Springans Pedor. When this card is normal summon, well, you contribute it, then you can special summon one Springans monster from the grave. Pretty much that's all it does. When this card is then one Springans Rocky. When this card is normal special summon, I can target either the field spell, Gold Sea, Great Gold Gaganda, or one Springans monster and add it to my hand, so it's a nice recursion. Then we have here one Albaz the Shrouded Dragon. It's just another Fallen of Albaz name. It's a nice draw effect. And you know, it's just a different monster. Then we have the hand traps here. Thank you to the Albaz Strike structure deck, you get pretty much Ghost Ogre, which is a great hand trap right now. So you play double Ghost Ogre, we play double Veiler, and then the new hand trap Tried Brigade Mercurier. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a fusion material that lists Fallen of Albaz, I can send this card from hand to or face up to the graveyard and negate that effect. If this card is banished, I can add from my deck to my hand one Fallen of Albaz or one monster that mentions it, except itself. And then when I send the fusion Brigand the Glory Dragon to the graveyard, I can search this because it is a Tri Brigade card. So that's it for the monsters. Let's move on to the spells. Alright, here we are with the spells. Obviously, the strongest card in the Albaz Strike structure deck, triple branded fusion. This card is bonkers. Fusion summon one fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz, using 2 monsters from my hand, deck, or field as fusion material. The only thing is I cannot special summon monsters from my extra deck except fusion monsters after I use this. So I want to Xyz summon first and then use branded fusion so my monsters can pop off. Again, I can search it at will, and pretty much I have every material needed for it in my deck. Then we play triple, the most important card in Springans, the Great Grand Sea Gold Gaganda. I know it's a mouthful, but bear with me. This one you can discard one Springans card monster. I'm sorry. Then you can special summon one Springans XZ from the extra deck to the field, and it gives all my XZ Springans 1,000 attack. Then also when a Springans leaves the field by a card effect, I can target one monster my opponent controls, and it cannot attack. Then I play triple Springans Watch. This card is bonkers. It can either search you the field spell, or if you already have the field spell, you can add one Springans monster to your hand and send one from your deck to the graveyard. So it just sets up your plays in the graveyard and in your hand. Then the one-ofs, we play one Springans Booty. This is pretty much another way to search the field spell. If you put it on your field, you send to the grave, you activate one directly from your deck, so they can't really ash it. Then also, when a face-up XZ monster I control leaves the field by a card effect, I can target one effects monster my opponent controls. Neither player can activate that effects monster's effects on the field that turn, so it's kind of a effect negator. Then I play one Branded Loss because we want our fusions to go off without a hitch. Then also I play one Branded in White in case we can't summon the Albaz on field, and you can also fuse with Albaz from graveyard, which is nice. And then also one Branded in Red. Target one Death Spirit Fallen of Albaz monster in my graveyard, add it to my hand. Then I can either fusion summon one level 8 or higher fusion monster by banishing fusion materials listed on it from my hand or field, but it cannot attack directly. So it's just kind of in case your opponent targets your monsters or anything like that. But yeah, that's it for the spells. Let's move on to the traps. Alright, here we are with the traps. I play double Springans Blast. If I control a Springans monster, I can choose one of my opponent's main monster zone. And if there's a monster in that zone, that monster's effect is negated. If there is no monster in that zone, my opponent cannot use it. So it's kind of a double lock in a way. But if I have a fusion monster that lists the Fallen of Albaz as a fusion material, I can target two zones. So which is why we play Branded Fusion, and then this goes off, so you can target 2 zones. So your opponent summons one monster, you target that monster's effect is negated, and you target another zone. So both of those zones can be unused, which is really awesome. Then we play double Branded Retribution. Obviously, when a spell or trap or monster effect is activated, that includes an effect that special summons a monster. Return to the extra deck one face-up fusion monster you control, or 2 fusion monsters in your graveyard that list the Fallen of Albaz. If I do, negate and destroy that card. Then I can banish this card in my graveyard and target one branded spell or trap in my graveyard, accept itself, and add it to my hand. So it's a nice recursion, it's negation, and obviously I'm gonna be filling my my graveyard with monsters from the extra deck, and you'll see why. Then last but not least, Judgment of the Branded. It's just kind of a board wipe. And then also, if you use this as discarded to activate the Fallen of Albaz effect, you can set it on your turn on the field. But it's just kind of a board wipe, you know, win more card. But I like it, and it's a branded card, so you can search it. So all these 3 cards are searchable in the deck. All right, let's move on to the extra deck. All right, here we are with the extra deck. I play double Springans Ship Exoblower. This is the main one you want to summon because it's your main destroyer. So it's kind of weird because it doesn't target, which is nice. It's non-targeting destruction. So you detach as many materials you want, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you pick a zone. Then you destroy cards up to the number of materials you detach. So say I detach 2, I can destroy 2 cards that are adjacent to the zone I picked or on that zone. So it's a pretty nice non-targeting destruction. Then it can during my opponent's turn, I can banish it. And that's how you activate the field spell effect and Springans Booty's effect. So that's nice. Then we play double Springans Merrymaker. When this card is special summoned from the extra deck, I can send one Springans monster from my deck to the graveyard. So pretty much graveyard control and whatever I want. And this has the same effect as this one by banishing itself for protection. But also, another effect is if I banish it when it has 2 or more materials, I can send one fusion monster from my graveyard that lists the Fallen of Albaz as material to the graveyard. So that's how I can load my graveyard with fusion monsters and activate their searching effects as well during the end phase. So that's why you play 2 of each. Then I play, obviously, This is a Springans deck, so we play triple Spring the Iron Dash Dragon. This guy, you can move it columns, and then you can destroy all face-up cards in that column. Then at the end phase, if this card was sent to the graveyard that turn, I can either add or special summon the Fallen of Albaz or one Springans monster, which is why we play. It's a Springans deck, so we play triple of those. It's the most important card, and we always want to send this, and we can literally get any Springans we want, and then extend our plays. Then we play double Branded the Glory Dragon. It's a Fallen of Albaz and a level 8 or higher monster. That one, when it's sent to the graveyard, I can either add a Tri-Brigade monster, the Tri-Brigade, the little bird, or a Fallen of Albaz card, either special summon it or add it to my hand. And this one cannot be destroyed by battle. And while I can control this future summon cards, my opponent cannot target other monsters by battle except this one. So it kind of protects my other Springans monsters. Then we play double of the new card, Lubellion, the Searing Dragon. It's a one dark monster in the Fallen of Albaz. So you know what, it pretty much hits every deck. Then if this card is fusion summon, I can discard one card, then fusion summon one level 8 or lower fusion monster from my extra deck except itself by shuffling fusion materials mentioned on it from the deck from monsters on my field, graveyard, and are face up banished. So it's pretty much I can fuse from anywhere. It's an easy way to make any of these Springans monsters. Also for the rest of this turn, I cannot this card cannot attack. Also I cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters. And leading me into the most powerful new Albaz fusion is Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. It's one Fallen of Albaz plus one fusion, synchro, XZ, or link monster. So you summon this, you activate the effect, you banish Fallen of Albaz and the Sprint or whatever fusion you send with the Springans Merrymaker. This card is pretty busted. So obviously you can only control one once per turn. Then quick effect, I can send one fusion monster from my extra deck to the graveyard that mentions the Fallen of Albaz as fusion material. Also, I cannot use effect this turn. Then I can target one card my opponent controls and banish it. So again, there's two ways of sending these fusion cards to the extra deck. Then one Titaniclad the Ash Dragon. This is just pretty much for monsters with 2500 or more attack, and it just gains attack 100 attack equal to the combined levels of the fused monster. So you're already gaining 400 because you're fusing the Fallen of Albaz. Then last but not least, Albion the Branded Dragon. This is the light target. Then when this card is fusion summoned, I can fusion summon one level 8 or lower fusion monsters except itself by banishing materials from the graveyard. And yeah, that rounds up the extra deck. So yeah, as you can see, this Springans and Branded and Fallen of Albaz have great synergy, and the lore is amazing as well. But let's move on to some combos, shall we? Alright, here we are with the combos. So now with this deck, I like to go second. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a Veiler, stop something, and 6. Okay, so this isn't too bad. So here we go. Let's go ahead and activate the field spell, Great Sea Goganda. Then I'm gonna go activate Springans Branga's effect, the field spells effect. Discard this to special summon the Springans Xyz. I'm gonna go ahead and special summon Springans Ship Exo Blower. Then I'm gonna go ahead and normal summon Springans Kit. Springans Kit's effect. When this card is normal or special summon, I can add one of my branded speller traps. So I'm gonna go ahead and add Branded Fusion right here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and place Springans Booty to the bottom. Then I am going to go ahead and first off, I'm gonna activate Springans Branga's effect to attach. I'm gonna activate Springans Better's effect to attach. I'm gonna activate effect to pop 2 cards on their field. Effect, right? So his attack is 2600. I'm gonna go and banish the Springans Branga and banish the Springans Pedor. To search Springans Watch, I'm gonna activate Springans Watch. Then I'm gonna add 1 card to my hand and send 1 card to the graveyard. So I'm going to add Springans Captain Sargus to my hand. and then send a Springans Captain Sargus to the grave, just so I have 2. So next turn I can be ready. Then I'm gonna go ahead and activate Captain Sargus effect, equip. Then I'm gonna go ahead and activate Branded Fusion. So I'm going to fusion summon. I will fuse the Fallen of Albaz and 1 Ghost Ogre. The special summon Albion, the Branded Dragon. Then I'm gonna activate Albion the Branded Dragon's effect, banish itself, and Fallen of Albaz. The special summon Mary Jade the Branded Dragon. And now if they have anything else, you can activate the effect. You can send this to the graveyard and banish something. Then you have 26, 3017. Then at the end phase, you can activate the effect to either special summon a Branded or a Fallen of Albaz. So I'm gonna go ahead and special summon. I'm gonna go ahead and add Springans Kit to my hand just so I follow a play the next turn. And yeah, that's it. Let's go to a combo going first, shall we? All right, here is going first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this kind of saved this. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate the field spell Great Sea Golgonda. I'm gonna activate Springans Watch. If you get ashed here, you lose, but let's pretend we don't get ashed. So I'm gonna go ahead and send Springans Kit to the graveyard and add Springans Brothers from my deck to my hand. Then I'm gonna go ahead and activate the Great Sea Golgonda's effect, sending Springans Brothers to the graveyard. And then I'm going to special summon Springans Merrymaker, put in attack mode because he gains 1000 attack. Then effect of Springans Merrymaker, chain link 1. Then effect of Springans Brothers, chain link 2. Because I send it from my hand, I can target 1 Springans and special summon it. So I'm going to target Springans Kit, special summon this in defense mode. Then Springans Merrymaker. I'm allowed to send 1 Springans card from my deck to my graveyard. So I'm going to send Springans Branga. Then Springans Kit effect activates. Gonna go ahead and add a Branded Speller Trap. So I'm gonna go ahead and add Branded Fusion. Then I'm gonna go ahead and banish, activate Springans Branga's effect, banish itself and Springans Brothers to search for Springans card and search for Springans Blast. So then I'm gonna go ahead and activate Branded Fusion. So I'm gonna go ahead and send Fallen of Albaz and Albion the Shrouded Dragon to special summon Lubilion the Searing Dragon. I'm gonna activate Lubilion's effect, discard 1 card by fusing, so I'll fuse this and Fallen of Albaz by returning it to the deck. Then I special summon Ice Mary Jade the Ice Dragon. Then I'm gonna go ahead and activate Captain Sargus' effect to attach and Springans Branga's effect to attach. Then I'm going to go ahead and set Springans Blast and pass. So now I have technically 3 disruptions because when your opponent summons a monster, activates effect, Springans Blast. I have a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz, so I target the monster, its effect is negated, and then I target another monster zone and they can't use that monster zone. Then if they try to do something else, I'm going to go ahead and activate the effect. And I'm going to go ahead and send Sprint the Iron Dash Dragon. So it's banished. Then if they try to summon something else, I'm going to go activate effect, banish this. Then the effect activates, they can't attack. Then this effect activates because I banished it with 2 or more materials. I can send fusion from the deck to the grave. Then end phase. Brigand the Glory Dragon activates. So I'm going to go ahead and add the Tri-Brigade Mercurier so I can negate effects. Then also Sprint the Iron Dash Dragon activates. I'm going to go ahead and special summon Fargus. Then this comes back. Then it's my turn. I draw. Oh, that's beautiful. So what I can go ahead and do is activate Springans Watch. I can send Springans Kit to the grave, and then I can add Springans Brothers just to have something. again, I can go ahead and normal summon Springans Pedor, tribute it to special summon Captain Sargus. Gonna go ahead and overlay because they're both 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're both level 8, so I'm gonna go ahead and overlay to special summon the Exo Blower. I'm gonna search this to attack mode. I'm gonna go ahead and attach this and Springans Bronga to that. Then I'm gonna go and activate Springans Kit's effect because I have fusion. I can special summon it. Effect. I get to target a fusion branded speller trap. So I can either go defensive and get branded retribution because I already be on the offensive. So I'll probably do that. Get branded retribution. Then I'm gonna go ahead and detach these two to pop 2 cards. Then attach this one back. He gains 700, and that's it. That's the game. So yeah, as you can see, the Springans are awesome. They have a lot of synergy with the branded archetype, and they're really fun to play. So don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. It's your boy Migz signing off. Thanks again.